So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. As this Sunday, it's the final game week of the season, the final game for Manchester United, taking on Brighton at the Amex Stadium. Hoping to end on a high, hoping to give the away fans travelling down something to celebrate on the last day of the season. Everyone wants to win on the last day. You want to give your fans a little something. But this for Manchester United is just a warm-up. It's a warm-up for next weekend, the big game at Wembley, the FA Cup final, a one-off final for a chance to win the FA Cup, and hopefully we can do it. But let's, finish the season on a high this Sunday. Let's go and beat Brighton, and I do think we will. The last performance was very encouraging. It was the best I've seen us play in a very long time. We had World Cup Amrabat back, who we've not seen since he joined Manchester United. Martinez returned. You had goodbyes for Varane, which we'll talk about. Obviously, I've not talked about that on the channel yet. Manu, scored again, which is fantastic. Amad Diallo looked really good. Him, Garnacho and Bruno and Højlund all linking up really, really well. It was all looking promising. It was a good performance. And yes, we just about won. Newcastle had their chances. But again, it was the best I've seen us play in a very long time. The Arsenal game, on the other hand, was appalling. I didn't expect much. I was thinking, do you know what, we could end Arsenal's title hopes, but they found it really easy on the day. Found it really easy to beat us. We didn't really create much. But then again, after the game, when I was really thinking about it, really thinking deep, that was probably the best we could have done. Lose 1-0. I was thinking, could it be 2? Could it be 3 or 4-0 on the day when I saw the team? But to lose 1-0 in a really boring game, it wasn't too bad. Yes, I don't want to lose to Arsenal, so I hate it. That's their first win at Old Trafford in the league in like 16 years. But look where they are, look where we are. It was expected. But yeah, I wasn't able to do videos for those games. Just been really busy at work recently. But yeah, we got one for the final game of the season now. And hoping to end on a high, which, as I mentioned earlier, I think we will. Because of the last performance. And Brighton haven't been good recently. They've been really, really poor. A top manager like De Zerbi, is he a one-season wonder? I'm not too sure. I mean, yes, Brighton always lose their players. And that's going to hurt any team when you lose your best players in the squad. And they leave the club. But overall, last 2 months or so from Brighton has been appalling. Some really poor results. Not much style of play. I think he's just given up on that team, really. Which, to be honest, I don't blame. If I was the manager at Brighton, lose your best players every year, I'd get frustrated as well. And I'd just be pissed off with it. So, it is what it is. It's still going to be a difficult game. Brighton, of course, want to end on a high as well. And again, this might be a send-off for De Zerbi. It might be his last game there. So, who knows what to expect. But if we can put out the right team, a similar team to what we did against Newcastle, and perform like we did, then we have a right chance of winning this game and ending the season on a high. But I did have something I want to talk about. I've not mentioned it on the channel yet, but Rafael Varane obviously has announced he's leaving the club this season as a free agent. I don't know where he's going to end up. Maybe it's Saudi time, MLS, something like that. Or maybe he still feels he can play at the top level. But he's been a very good servant. I mean, when I saw the news, I was a bit 50-50 on it. I was like, we still have Maguire here. We still have Lindelof here. So other players that really don't deserve to be here. And I thought Varane was someone we could keep. Maybe you can let Lindelof go now. He's had his time. Yes, he's been a very consistent player, but again, maybe it's time for him to move on. And Varane is one of our best defenders, if not our best defender. So it was a weird decision, but again, apparently they couldn't agree on a contract. But, it is sad when you have someone like that who really knows what it's about to play for the badge, gave us all every time. Yes, he was very injury prone, so I kind of get that, because the amount of times he would start a couple of games, we'd be like, you know what, he's back, him and Martinez, back together, they're going to do really well. And a day later, or a game later, he'd get injured again. And it's so frustrating, but you could see from the game the other day, the send-off, he did the selfie, which he did when he joined the club, he did it again, against Newcastle at the end, in front of the Stretford end. And he also sat on the pitch afterwards. So you can tell how much this club has meant to him and how sad he is to leave, really. But when he still feels he can maybe play at a top level and he's not really agreeing to the contract that they're offering, then it's time to go, really. But overall, I'm sad about it. I'm sad about Martial leaving, although I've wanted him to leave. It still hits you, really does. Players that have been here for such a long time, who you wish could have a better career at Manchester United, end up leaving and being a bit of a disappointment, really. So, Martial leaving, Varane got a good send-off, which I absolutely love as well. Everyone should be giving him, praise and just how much he meant to us and how much the club meant to him as well. It's a sad occasion, but overall, I wish him the best wherever happens from here. As I mentioned, Saudi, MLS, or maybe he can still play in this, La Liga or Serie A, someone like that. But yeah, I really do hope he has a good rest of his career. But that's all I wanted to say on that. Good luck on him, and he will be missed. Other than that, guys, FA Cup is all I'm looking forward to. As I mentioned, Ten Hag's speech as well, which I wanted to mention in the video. But yeah, it was a speech which was perfect in my eyes. I didn't expect it, to be honest, but it was short, it was sweet, and that's all it had to be. I didn't want him to say too much, go on for too long. It's short, it's sweet. He said about the players, they're going to give their all for the FA Cup, to bring it back to Old Trafford, to have the FA Cup trophy, and to end the season on a high. Which again, considering the season we've had, if we can win the FA Cup, oh my lord. It wouldn't be a saviour for our season, but it would just be a bit of joy. A bit of joy on what has been a really, really difficult season for all these players, for Ten Hag as well, who people criticise, people want him out. But it does look like from that speech, he's not fearing about that. He wants to stay. He wants to get this club back to the best it can be, right to the top again. And he wants to be successful at Manchester United. And that's, from the speech, what I really got from that. He's not in any danger of losing his job. He's confident he'll be here next season. And I've always said it, I do think he should have another season because injuries haven't helped. He hasn't had his best team on the pitch more than once. The whole entire season, his best team. Luke Shaw's a doubt again for the final, which is really difficult. I was hoping he would be back. But Martinez is back as well, which is amazing news. Him for the final is going to be massive. Hopefully we can have Martinez and Varane back for that FA Cup final. One last dance for them together, because that pairing have been absolutely fantastic together. But yeah, the speech was good. Saying goodbyes the other day, last home game of the season. To get a win at home, again, it was good. Hopefully we can get another one on Sunday. And then all roads, I should say, lead to Wembley for the FA Cup final, guys. But I will put my team for the Brighton game on the screen now. So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to our channel. So that's my team going into the game on Sunday for the final game of the season against Brighton. And I've gone for something very similar for what I think we are going to see in the FA Cup final game. As much as I would love to start the front line as Garnacho, Amad Diallo and Rasmus, I just have a massive feeling Rashford's going to start. I just think he's been kept behind. He's been rested recently. And this is going to be the game to warm him up for the FA Cup final game next week. I have a massive feeling he's definitely going to start this game. I do think it will be him. Diallo, I think he'll be picked out of Anthony for the final because of the moments he's provided already, the game against Liverpool, etc. How good he looked the other day. And I do think it'll be Rasmus obviously starting that final as well. So I do think this whole team will be kind of similar to what we see. Maybe Casemiro is the only one that might start the game just for his experience, and I would love for him to start. But the Amrabat performance the other day, it opened my eyes. It really did open my eyes. It's really surprised me recently. The last two performances, he's put himself in the hat to start the FA Cup final. He really, really has done. Alongside Manu, they worked really well together. They were flowing. They were connecting with each other. They were connecting with the front line. Amad Diallo was linking really well. Bruno Fernandes, Manu and Højlund. It all looked so good the other day. And Ten Hag has so many big decisions to make regarding the FA Cup final. But that's what I've gone with the other day. And if Amrabat performs really well this Sunday, which I have a feeling he will do, I reckon he starts the game. And Casemiro missing out would be a massive deal. And people will be saying you can't leave that experience, played in a big games, like the FA Cup final. Similar to that. So why isn't he starting? People will be saying that. But Amrabat is one who's definitely put himself on the hat, so it's really difficult. And maybe I'll change my mind come next week when we do the preview. Maybe I'll have a different mind frame on, and maybe I might make a few different decisions than I make it now with this team. But again, it's just about putting the best team to get the job done next weekend. And I want to see the players which are going to have their moments on the field. That are going to be the ones to win us that game. And I just think this kind of team which you see on the screen, or which you saw on the screen, is going to be doing that for me. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, guys. But my final thoughts going into the game: Brighton, they're a good team. Danny Welbeck will probably score on Sunday. It'll be an entertaining game. There'll be goals. I mean, I expect to win the game. I said it earlier on. I do think we're going to win the game. I'm going to say... I say 2-1. I say 2-1 to Manchester United. I think Brighton will definitely score, but having Martinez back, which will be really good. Casemiro playing in the midfield, maybe. If he does start, he'll be in the midfield. But Amrabat, again, seeing him past the last 2 games, I'm really excited to see how he gets on this Sunday. But yeah, guys, I'm going to say Manchester United to win this game 2-1. I'm going to say Rasmus Højlund, and I'm going to say Diallo to score as well. Hopefully he does start and can continue his really, really good vein of form. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. If you did enjoy, please smash a like, guys. I'm sorry again. I know I said sorry the other time when I did the preview about my uploads being a bit of a mess, but I've been really busy with work. Haven't been able to really do too much content on the channel. But, you know, it's not like we were fighting for a final. It's not like we're fighting for the Premier League, fighting for top 4. It's been games where nobody really knows what's going to happen, and again, they don't really mean too much at the moment. But this FA Cup final preview, I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for Wembley. Hopefully it'll be a big day, but let's just end with a high in the Premier League this Sunday. Hopefully we can end with a win. Give the away fans a little bit of something, a big warm-up for the game on Sunday, or for next Saturday as well. I mean, on Sunday, so, you know, bit of confidence, get a couple of goals, win comfortably, and who knows what can happen. But yeah, smash a like, guys, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.